Picture this. While everyone's been obsessing over Bitcoin and gold, silver has quietly become the hottest commodity on the planet. In just the past year, silver prices have skyrocketed, and here's the kicker. This isn't just another market bubble. What's happening with silver right now is fundamentally different from anything we've seen before, and if you're not paying attention, you're missing one of the biggest wealth shifts of our generation. I'm going to show you exactly why silver has transformed from being called the poor man's gold into a critical asset that governments and tech giants are scrambling to secure. Let's start with the numbers that Wall Street doesn't want you to see. Silver hit $28 per ounce recently, and analysts are predicting it could reach $50 or even higher within the next 2 years. But here's what makes this rally different from previous ones. It's not being driven by speculation or fear. It's being driven by something far more powerful: unavoidable industrial demand. You see, silver isn't just sitting in vaults anymore. It's being consumed, used up, and destroyed in ways that make it impossible to recover. Every single day, silver is permanently leaving the market, and there's no way to get it back. Here's where it gets really interesting. The green energy revolution that every government in the world is pushing? It runs on silver. Solar panels require massive amounts of silver for their photovoltaic cells, and there's currently no cost-effective substitute. Each solar panel contains about 20 grams of silver, and we're installing solar panels at a rate that would have seemed impossible just 5 years ago. China alone is building solar capacity that will require hundreds of millions of ounces of silver every single year. Electric vehicles need twice as much silver as regular cars because of their complex electrical systems and battery management. The global push to electrify everything, from cars to heating systems to public transportation, is creating silver demand that is growing exponentially. Then there's the technology sector, which has become absolutely dependent on silver. Your smartphone, your laptop, every electronic device you own contains silver because it's the best conductor of electricity and heat that exists. Artificial intelligence and data centers are consuming silver at rates we've never seen before because AI servers require incredibly sophisticated cooling systems and electrical components, all of which need silver. 5G networks being built around the world require silver in every single component, from the base stations to the switches to the devices connecting to them. We're talking about trillions of dollars in infrastructure being built right now, and every bit of it needs silver. But here's the problem that is creating this perfect storm. There is not enough silver to go around. Global silver mines are actually producing less silver today than they were a decade ago. Unlike gold, where about 70% comes from dedicated gold mines, only about 25% of silver comes from primary silver mines. The rest is a byproduct of mining other metals like copper, lead, and zinc. So when those other metals aren't profitable to mine, silver production drops automatically. We're currently facing a supply deficit where industrial demand alone exceeds all the silver being mined. That deficit is being filled by above-ground stockpiles, but those stockpiles are disappearing fast. The financial world is starting to wake up to this reality, and that's creating a second wave of demand on top of the industrial consumption. Central banks, which traditionally only held gold, are now looking at silver as a strategic reserve. Governments are realizing that controlling silver supplies might be just as important as controlling oil or rare earth elements, because without silver, you can't build the green technology or the military systems that modern nations depend on. We're seeing countries quietly accumulating silver, not for investment purposes, but for national security reasons. This is geopolitical chess, and silver has become a critical piece on the board. Investment demand is exploding too. Smart money managers who understand what's happening are moving billions into silver. The gold to silver ratio, which historically averaged around 15-1, meaning 15 ounces of silver, cost the same as 1 ounce of gold, has been wildly out of balance for years. Right now, it's hovering around 80-1, which means silver is historically cheap compared to gold. As this ratio corrects itself, which it always does eventually, silver prices will need to multiply several times just to reach historical norms. That's not speculation. That's mathematics and history. What makes silver even more compelling is its dual nature. It's both an industrial metal and a monetary metal, which gives it a unique position. During economic booms, industrial demand drives prices up. During economic uncertainty, people buy it as a safe haven like gold. Silver wins in both scenarios. We're currently in a situation where both factors are working simultaneously. Massive industrial demand plus growing investment demand. This perfect combination hasn't existed in modern history. The supply situation is even more critical than most people realize. It takes 7 to 10 years to bring a new silver mine online from discovery to production. Even if companies started aggressively exploring for silver today, we wouldn't see meaningful new supply until the early 2030s. Meanwhile, existing mines are depleting, and many are approaching the end of their productive lives. The easy silver has already been mined. What's left is harder to extract, more expensive to process, and often in politically unstable regions. So what does all this mean for you? We're watching the early stages of a silver supply crisis that could reshape global economics and technology. The industries that depend on silver, green energy, electronics, medical devices, water purification, aren't going to stop needing it. They can't. There are no viable alternatives for most applications. As supplies tighten and prices rise, we'll see everything from your electricity bills to the cost of electronics affected. Companies that secured silver supplies early will have massive advantages over their competitors. Silver has evolved from being the poor man's gold into something far more significant. It's become the metal that powers the modern world. The boom we're seeing isn't hype or speculation. It's the market finally recognizing reality. Whether you're an investor, a business owner, or just someone trying to understand where the global economy is heading, silver is a story you can't afford to ignore. The question is not whether silver will continue rising, it's whether you'll position yourself before the rest of the world catches on. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.